health. By the time our first guest was 30 years old, she had the bone density of an 80-year-old woman. Her doctor's official diagnosis was advanced osteoporosis, and he prescribed a host of medications.
But Calton took her health into her own hands and began a search for alternatives. Within 2 years, she reversed her condition, and everything you think you know about your daily multivitamin, your exercise routine, your weight, and even your morning cup of joe is about to change.
Mira and Jason Calton are the authors of Naked Calories. Welcome to Daytime, you two. All right, Jason, I have to start with you. What is a naked calorie?
Well, a naked calorie really goes beyond what we all know as an empty calorie. So empty calories are kind of those foods we know are bad for us, right? Like white breads, cookies, cakes. But a naked calorie can be found in any food that's had its micronutrients or its vitamins, minerals, or essential fatty acids stripped from it in some way. So when we eat a food with naked calories, we get left with all the calories that can eventually lead to obesity if we eat too much of them, but we get an insufficient amount of those essential vitamins and minerals we need to stay healthy.
Huh, okay. That's very...
Understood.
Makes perfect sense, but how did you find out about the naked calories? How did you overcome osteoporosis?
I know, it seems like a stretch, but this is what happened. Like you said, at 30, bone density of an 80-year-old, that's crazy.
Right.
So we started to look at what it was that I was personally doing to cause this disease. And it came down to two things. I wasn't eating the right foods, so I wasn't taking in the right nutrients or vitamins and minerals. And also I had really bad habits. So I was also expending a lot of vitamins and minerals. So that caused a micronutrient deficiency. And basically that's when we decided to see if other diseases were also based in the same micronutrient deficiencies. So once I was able to reverse mine, we tested the grounds, and we went on an expedition around the world to 7 continents, 100 countries, to see if the disease rates in other places were also based in the same disease. And we found out that a lot of these modern places where they're eating a lot of naked calories, the disease rates went up.
I would think the best thing to do, you'd study how everybody else eats, and then you'd say, okay, this country, they're not having the diseases that we're having, and they seem to be living longer, and everybody seems pretty happy and healthy. Did you find that in one particular place, or just spread out?
Well, no. I mean, in the remote areas, we definitely found that, you know. So you go to a place where you would look at it and say, well, these people don't have very much, but guess what they do have? They have their health. And then you go to the kind of what we call the in-between places, and you start to see the disease rates creeping in as those kind of the bagged, boxed, and bottled, you know, things start to appear, right? So everything's colorized, the sodas, the chips, and then by the time you get to the cities, you're looking at people who have the most money, and they have hospitals, and they have medical care, but they have the highest disease rates. So it all comes down to the micronutrient sufficiency. You know, when we were in places like Tibet or in places like Papua New Guinea or places in India, the child would grab something off the tree and eat it immediately. They'd go and they'd fish, and then they'd cook it. They wouldn't wait until it came, you know, maybe a week or two later from Alaska somewhere and then bought it in a grocery store and eaten it.
It was amazing to watch the kids. I mean, literally everything was so fresh, and they were so healthy. And then you look at the 100-year-olds, and they were still in the fields working really strong, and they were doing the same thing, eating all those natural, fresh things.
How can we all eat more like this? Because I bet a lot of the foods that we think are healthy are still stripped of these micronutrients, right?
Absolutely. And it's, if you compare foods today, because of the soil erosion and because of over-farming, we have so many less nutrients in the foods that we're already choosing to eat.
Chemicals.
So what should we eat?
Well, vote for things that are local, organic. Those tend to infuse your foods with calories, because every minute that your food travels to your table, it's hitting 3 elements: light, air, and heat. And each one of those things is robbing your foods of actual nutrients.
Every time we drink a cup of coffee in the morning, like Cyndi had 2 this morning.
Yeah, I did.
Did she just suck out some more nutrients from her body?
She sucked out a few. Now, you know, coffee has 2 things, tannins and calcium. I mean, tannins and caffeine. So that will take out some of the calcium. So, but you know, you can kind of curtail that by adding a little bit of milk or cream to your coffee, and that'll take care of that.
Okay, what if you take prescription medication?
Oh, goodness.
You know, your prescription medication may not come with it, may come with a may cause drowsiness warning, but it doesn't come with will cause micronutrient deficiency warning. Over-the-counter or prescription medication, they almost all leach some micronutrient, and this is something most people don't know.
Wow, okay. So we really have to pay attention to that. What about just living in a city?
Well, living in a city is very similar to smoking, and we all know that smoking's not good for us. It lowers your antioxidants, and pollution is just that on a grander scale. I mean, there's three levels of it. You yourself smoke, you're living in the house with someone who smokes, or you're living in a city that just has a lot of smog. All of that will really deplete you of these micronutrients.
Okay, everybody needs micronutrients. That's another resolution for 2012.
Well, watch out.
We'll be working on it.
One of the scariest resolutions everyone's making this year is to lose weight.
Right.
Why is that scary? Because you limit what you're eating. That means you're limiting the amount of vitamins and minerals you're taking in.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And did you know that you have an 80.8% chance of being obese if you're overweight?
Oh my goodness. All right.
Wow.
Naked Calories. Discover how micronutrients can maximize weight loss, prevent disease, and enhance your life. That'll give you the answers right here.
Mira and Jason Calton, thank you guys so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.